Good morning. Now let's try some email searches. So this one, we're going to do a common one with Tesla. So let's do press@tesla.com. Just make sure it says email up here. Then go ahead and search. And then again, you're going to need to wait. The biggest thing I can push for anybody using any tool or doing any sort of investigation is you need to learn patience. Stuff like this takes time. So with that said, this tool is taking less time than a lot of others, but it's doing a lot of things in the back end. So what we'll go ahead and do is take a quick time scale, and then I'm going to pause the video. We'll start back here when it's done. So this time warp did take us to a few findings on this specific email. Again, some of them may be false positives, so it will be your job to figure it out as an investigator. But we did add a few items in here to make this a little bit easier for you. So when you click on the link, you can verify it if you're human on this specific site, and then see if it is actually tied to a real account. Looks like it is in use. So in this case, I would check it to verify. Again, it's still going to be an issue. You need to verify it later to make sure it does tie into the actual suspect and it's not a false positive. But it is showing as being an actual account. So again, here, I verify, it takes a screenshot. I'll take a screenshot. Eventbrite is not valid, so I'm not going to take a screenshot. I'm not going to check this one. But tying this in, this is some of the situations where this is part of the investigation. You're trying to vet and verify. You have the links, you have the intelligence. You're trying to verify that these things are valid or not. And you're trying to minimize the false positives because that's part of the investigation. So it says this can't be reached. I will not check that either. Again, no permission. Again, this one, most likely not related to that specific email address. So again, would not check that. So going through this entire process, once you check everything that you believe is going to be there, you then hit report. Once you hit report, and I sent a report, you have specific email, certain items, presence check, the emails, the links, and the IP address is related to those items. And then if you go to entity, we then start seeing items related to the email, press.tesla.com, items related to domains and email. And going back to this, this is where whenever you do any of these investigations, you should always go back to the entity and then vet and verify yet again. So let's say this is not related to the suspect. You delete. Delete. Then we're left with this one and then these. So this is where the tool allows you to spread out your investigation. Try to find a lot of individual items out there related to username, domain, IP address, address, things in that area with the OSINT side. And then once you start filling in this dossier, you start removing what you know is not valid to the individual dossier or entity. Then outside that, within the entity, you would fill in all the stuff that's relevant, verify, make sure it's correct. Then just go in and click dossier to rebuild the dossier for the updated information related to the content inside that entity. So in a nutshell, that is going to be searching for content with an email.